suffer doing things that we hate. You got to be delusional about the vision that you have for your life. That is the only way that you're going to do something different for yourself and for your family. You have got to be delusional. I don't know about y'all, but I'm delusional. Oh my God. Are you guys delusional like me? You can only be in my room and in my spaces if you are delusional like me. The vision that you have for your life, how long are you going to live like this? How long are you going to keep waking up to a life you know is smaller than the one that you've seen in your spirit? How long are you going to keep saying, one day, when I get the money, when the kids get older, when I feel better, when somebody helps me, when I'm not afraid, when I know exactly what to do? How long? Because at some point, you're gonna have to stop calling your vision unrealistic just because your present circumstances cannot see it yet. Sometimes you got to be a little bit delusional about the vision you have for your life. And when I say delusional, I don't mean disconnected from reality. I mean, you have to become more committed to what you believe is possible than to what your current circumstances are trying to convince you is permanent, because it's not permanent. Your bank account may say one thing, your environment may say one thing, the past may say one thing, other people may say one thing, but what do you see? Because vision has always required somebody to see something before everybody else can see it. Who the man? And what's his name? Alexander Graham Bell. He wanted to talk to people who wasn't there. They was like, "Oh yeah, you crazy." What you mean you want to talk to people who not there? Yeah, I want to pick up a device. I want to put it on my ear, and I want to talk to people who ain't here with me. And so then we had the can with the string, and then you put the can, and then somebody could, and then that started it. And then before you know it, we had phones in our house connected to the wall, and you could call everywhere. Remember when there was a difference between making a phone call that was local and then long distance? Remember your phone bill would come and you had local calls and then you had long distance calls, and it was a whole different payment for that. Yes, walkie talkies, all kinds of ways to speak to people who are not in the room with you. And they say that was delusional and crazy. And now we have come so far that you could go in your pocket, pick up your device that's not connected to nothing, no wires. And now you can have conversation with people over Wi-Fi and airwaves. And that's normal. I remember having a cordless phone and being excited that I could talk on my cordless phone on my step. And I'm like, I'm going to see if I can walk to the corner. Let me see if I can walk to the corner. And when you could get to the corner and the static wasn't too bad, oh man, we were saying something then. You mean to tell me now I could talk to people while I'm on the airplane on Wi-Fi and text message? They had to be delusional, believing something bigger. Stop giving everything forever. You can't keep waiting forever. You know, if you tell yourself, right? If you say to yourself, I'm gonna give myself 30 days to clean my house up, it's gonna take 30 days. But if you say I'm gonna give myself 3 hours, it's gonna take 3 hours. So Why does that happen? Because work tends to expand to fill the time you give it. So now you got to ask yourself, does this really take this long or am I allowing it to? Does it really take 6 months to launch a thing? Does it really take 3 weeks to make the phone calls? Does it really take 2 years to start a business? Does it really take a month to clean my room? Does it really take another year to make the decision? Or have you become comfortable with giving yourself unlimited time? Sometimes the problem is not that you can't do it. The problem is that you've given yourself too much time to negotiate with yourself. And when you give fear too much time, fear starts holding meetings. Fear starts bringing up PowerPoints and fear starts giving you evidence. Fear starts saying, what if it doesn't work? What if they say no? What if you fail? What if people laugh? And this is where speed becomes so important. Speed wins. Sometimes the fastest way to get out of your head is to move. Speed wins. Do it fast. Learn fast, adjust fast, win faster. You don't need to be reckless. You need to stop confusing hesitation with wisdom. Some of us call procrastination discernment. We say, I'm thinking about it. No, you've been thinking for 9 months. At some point, thinking becomes hiding. And sometimes the next level of your life is waiting on you to make a decision faster. Make the call, send the email, post the offer, book the room, register the business, ask the question, start the conversation. You can correct while moving. You can learn while moving. You can improve while moving. But you cannot steer a parked car. You have to stop confusing this current chapter with your final destination. Some of you, us, have lived in survival mode so long that survival becomes familiar. And familiar can become dangerous because eventually you stop asking, is this what I want? And you start asking, how do I make this tolerable? That's a different question. There's a difference between building a life and tolerating one. There's a difference between living and managing. There's a difference between peace and simply being too exhausted to fight anymore. Ask yourself, if nothing changed over the next 3 years, would you be okay with that? Same finances, same relationships, same health habits, same environment, same fears, same excuses, same conversations, same level of confidence, same level of income. Would that be acceptable? If the answer is no, then something has to move, and that something may be you. Not because everything is your fault, but because your choices are the part you control. And sometimes the vision looks crazy first. Every major vision looks ridiculous before it looks obvious. Before the business works, somebody says that will never work. Before the book is written, somebody's going to say, who's going to read it? Before the house is bought, how are you going to afford that? Before the body changes, you tried that before. Before you walk away from this Somebody says you're going to be lonely. Before you reinvent yourself, they say, who does she think she is? You need enough vision to survive the season when nobody else understands what you see. And sometimes that requires what I call healthy delusion. Healthy delusion says, I'm not there yet, but I refuse to believe that I can't get there. I know the numbers don't line up yet, but I'm going to keep building. I know I don't know every step, but I can take the next one. I know this chapter looks rough, but I refuse to build my identity on a temporary season. Vision says, this may be my reality today, but it doesn't have to be my reality forever. I heard somebody say, if you're afraid, don't do it. If you're doing it, don't be afraid. And let me give you something else. If you're afraid, do not do it. But if you're already doing it, how you going to be afraid? You're already in motion. You're already in the business. You already made the commitment. You already signed up. You already started. You already said yes. Now go. Go. There is no reward to doing the thing while mentally rehearsing disaster the whole time. Once you decide, decide. Once you move, move. Once you commit, stop holding an emergency meeting with fear every 5 minutes. You cannot build a bold life while constantly asking fear for permission. You just can't. How long are you going to live like this? Let's make it personal. How long are you going to stay in the job that is draining the life out of you without creating an exit strategy? How long are you going to keep saying you want peace while entertaining chaos? How long are you going to keep saying you want financial freedom while avoiding the numbers? How long are you going to keep saying you want love while accepting crumbs? How long are you going to keep saying you want health while refusing to change any of the habits connected to it? How long are you going to keep saying, that's just how I am? Oh, I hate that. That's just how I am. Have you heard that before? That's just how I am. Maybe that's how you've been, but that doesn't mean that's how you have to remain. There comes a moment when you have to stop studying the life you want and start participating in creating it. Cannot journal your way out of everything. Cannot pray your way around every decision. Cannot affirm your past every action. At some point, the affirmation has to become behavior. The prayer has got to become movement. The vision board has got to become a calendar. Could your vision board become a calendar? Could you make your vision board a calendar? The dream has got to become a decision. Trust your vision more than your fear. Here's the difference I want you to think about. People who will build wealth, businesses, and big lives often learn to trust their vision and question their fears. People who stay stuck, they doubt the vision and then they trust the fear. The vision says you can do this, fear says no, you can't. And somehow fear gets believed immediately. The vision says you could create something bigger, but fear says you're going to lose everything. And fear becomes the expert. Why? Why are we cross examining the dream and giving fear the microphone? Why does a dream have to bring 17 pieces of evidence, 3 references, and a 5-year plan? But fear can simply walk into the room and say, what if? What if? Is that you? Does your dream need to bring 17 pieces of evidence and 3 references and a 5-year plan? But fear can walk in the room and say, what if? And shut the whole thing down. No, we are changing that. From now on, trust your vision, interrogate your fear. Ask fear, is that true? Where is the evidence? Has this actually happened? Or are you trying to protect me from discomfort? Because fear is not always prophecy. Sometimes fear is just unfamiliar territory. Sometimes fear is just your nervous system saying, we have never been here before. But that doesn't mean stop. It means keep going. Keep going. If you don't keep going, you get to keep having it how you having it. I don't like it like that. Be delusional enough before there is proof. Could you do that? That's what we mean when we say be delusional. Be delusional enough to believe your life can change before you have the proof. Be delusional enough to believe that you can create money before the money is in the account. Be delusional enough to believe that somebody will buy before the first person says yes. Be delusional enough to believe the room will fill before the chairs are filled. Be delusional enough to believe you can heal before it feels healed. Be delusional enough to believe you can become someone you have never been before. But let me add this. Delusional without execution is fantasy. Can I just believe fast? You have to move fast too. Can I spend 6 months getting ready for a life you said you wanted yesterday? At some point, you got to shorten the runway. Give yourself 3 hours. Give yourself today. Give yourself until noon. Give yourself until Friday. Not because everything can be rushed, but because some things are taking too long simply because you keep giving yourself permission to. Ask yourself today, what if I am making it harder than it needs to be? What if I'm giving too much time? What decisions already have an answer? What am I afraid to do that I already know I need to do? Where am I trusting fear more than my vision? And what will happen if I move today instead of thinking about moving? Because sometimes the breakthrough is not another revelation. Sometimes the breakthrough is speed. Sometimes the breakthrough is deciding. Sometimes the breakthrough is saying enough. How long are you going to live like this? How long are you going to think about changing? How long are you going to plan the thing you could start today? How long are you going to let fear hold a vote in every decision? Be delusional. Trust the vision. Doubt the fear. Move faster and give your future a chance to catch up with you. Something you know that is already possible. Yes, grandson, keep going. Keep going. Because at some point, you have got to stop calling the vision unrealistic just because your present circumstances can't see it yet. Sometimes you have to be a little delusional about the vision you have for your life. And when I say delusional, I'm Surely not talking about being disconnected from the real world. Vision without action is imagination. Vision without consistent action is imagination. Vision with consistent action becomes evidence. You can believe you're going to be wealthy. Wonderful. But what are you selling? Who did you call? What offer did you make? What did you follow up on? What are you learning? Where are you wasting money? What habit needs to change? You can believe you're going to be healthy. Beautiful. But what are you doing today that supports your body? You can believe you're going to have an incredible relationship. Great. What are you becoming? What are you healing? What are you refusing to tolerate anymore? There has to be evidence that you believe what you say you believe. Because faith is not sitting waiting for the universe to prove you right. Faith moves. Faith applies. Faith acts. Faith calls. Faith sells. Faith submits the application. Faith gets rejected and applies again. Faith changes the plan without changing the vision. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is, I'll do it when I get ready. Ready is overrated. You can be scared and ready. You can be uncertain and ready. You can be tired and ready. You can be broke and ready. You can be healing and ready. You can still have questions and be ready. Sometimes ready looks like saying, I cannot live another year like this. That may be all the readiness you need. There comes a point where the pain of remaining the same becomes greater than the discomfort of changing. And maybe today is that day. I want everybody listening to identify one thing that you can do today that creates evidence for the future you say you want. Not 20 things, one. Make the call, apply, clean the room, start the budget, book the consultation, make the offer, end the conversation, open the account, write the first page, walk for 20 minutes, send the proposal. Your future life is built with present day evidence. You do not have to see the whole staircase, but you do have to step on something. You are allowed to start. You are allowed to do it now. Delusional. Delusional. There's a lady, I think her name is Nanya. Nanya? Natanya Bravo, I think. She says, I'm living my Delulu life. Delulu is short for delusional. And she decided to create a $10 million year. That was her delusional life. Y'all think she did it? She did it. It is your turn and it is your time. We keep saying it. We keep saying it. How long are you going to allow yourself to be exactly where you are? Day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. The same exact life over and over and over again. Same issue, same money, same relationship, same. How, Sway? How much longer you gonna do it? How much longer you gonna keep living this life? The job, the relationship, saying you want peace, but still in chaos. Saying you want financial freedom, but you don't know the numbers. You don't even know your number. What is the number? What is the number that takes you out of everything? Nicole, I'm yelling at myself. Everything I talk to y'all about is what I talk to myself about. And finally, I am making steps. So I'm just taking y'all with me. I'm just having every day I talk to y'all, this is my mirror talk. I already had the mirror talk, and now this is just the extension of the mirror talk that I had with myself. And I asked myself that very question. Are you afraid? But you're doing it. So if you are doing it, don't be afraid. You're already in it. You already made the investment of your time, of your energy, your money. You already in it. So what you gonna do? You already made the investments. You bought the business, you bought the course, you bought the stuff, and then it's sitting, waiting for you to execute, waiting for you to believe the vision that you had when you bought it. When you bought it, you said, "Oh yeah, I could do this," but then you don't do this, or you say, "I'm gonna do it later," but later never comes. That's why the question becomes, does it really take as long as we say it takes? Does it take a year? Does it take 6 months? Does it take 6 days? Sometimes we are so distracted. That's why I couldn't imagine if I had a TV, because the phone is enough. The phone ringing, the emails, the this, to that. It's got to come to a place where you have got to take time to cut off all distractions so you can build your life for once and for all. The people on the TV, the people on social media, they are at their meeting. They are doing their jobs. Those influencers, that's their job, to influence you to stay on the app. Their job is to influence you. How many people can I influence to buy this? How much longer will you live this life? It is time to get delusional about the life that you say you want. At some point, your vision, you have to stop calling it unrealistic just because your present circumstances can't see it yet. You have to be delusional about the vision you have for your life. Your bank account says something, your environment says something, your past says something, other people say something. But what do you see for you? Because the vision is always required you to see something before everybody else can see it. When I started talking about the Healing House of Roses, they said the what? Huh? And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be red and white, and people are gonna come and they're gonna enjoy themselves and they're gonna heal and they're like, girl, that don't make no damn sense. Listen, I saw the red pots in the red and white kitchen. I saw the silverware with flowers on it. I saw the rose ice cubes. I saw all of it long before I had money to do any of it. But now y'all believe it because y'all been there. Y'all seen it. It's done now and growing and growing. You may have heard something today that made you realize that maybe you're taking too long. Maybe you said you wasn't ready, but you really are ready. Maybe you've been giving your fear too much audience. Maybe. Maybe you feel like you make it too many. It's the same one. And then when you talk about those same excuses that you've been making, you have the same conversations with the same people. Imagine if your life stayed the same as it is right now for another 5 years. Same money, same conversation, same house, same car, same what? Is this acceptable? It's not to me. How y'all gonna meet me in Greece if we keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result? We can't. If you say, I don't want this way, then you have got to become delusional, write the real vision, and make it real plain to you. Because it did sound crazy to my friends and my family when I start telling them, I'm going to open the Healing House of Roses. If you've been to the Healing House of Roses, put a one in the chat. If you've been there and saw the vision, you may have seen it online. If you've seen it online, then that counts too. When you first walked in to the Healing House of Roses, Lex, what did you think? I don't know what people think when they walk in because it's a real thing. It's a real thing that was on paper. And every time I talked about it, people thought I was crazy. Now when they say to me, oh, this is a content house. Oh, this is a theme house. Um, they say all these different things that I didn't even know. I wasn't thinking any of that. Roses everywhere, yes. And holistic healing modalities, that's all I wanted was people to come and heal different, heal knowing that there's more than one way to do it, that you don't got to do it the way that traditional medicine says. Something happens when your nervous system gets relaxed. Something happens. You begin to feel good. Even if you're sick, even if there's a diagnosis. And you start believing, oh, if she did it, I could do it too. And I'm here with you to help you do it too. You may have heard something today that made you realize, I am tired of living like this. Good. Don't waste that realization. Insight is powerful, but insight without action becomes another thing you knew and did nothing with. If you know that you want to do something, and just maybe, you're stuck. And maybe you can't unstick yourself. Your next move might be a coach, a book, a conference, a something that's going to help you to move yourself along in whatever area that you need it to be in. It all starts with you. It all starts with you. And let me tell you something. If you're listening to me and realizing that you're that kind of stuck and you're repeating the same cycles and tired of knowing what to do, but not being able to make yourself do it, y'all know this is the work that I do. I am Dr. Darlaina Rose, the Healing Architect. I help people look at what's happening emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and even in their environment so we can begin identifying what is keeping you stuck. Sometimes you just don't need another motivational speech. Sometimes you need somebody to sit down with you and help you to identify the pattern. I do that a lot of ways. Sister Circle, one-to-one. If you know you need support, DM me. Send me a message. I often say, I don't know how people are sick or tired and sick and tired and know me. How you know me? And you got these things going on. You really want to look at where you are, where you want to go, and what your next step needs to be? Go ahead and put ready in the comments and consult with me. My consultation is $97. 45 minutes, we'll have it all figured out. Talk about what's happening and what you want instead, and whether I'm the right person to help you move forward. And remember, you are allowed to believe in a life that doesn't exist yet. And I am your number one person for that. You are allowed to believe. And I'm going to believe with you. You are allowed to believe that you can make more money. You are allowed to believe that you can heal. You are allowed to believe that you can experience peace. You are allowed to believe that love can look different. You are allowed to believe that your next chapter can make your last chapter almost unrecognizable. Call it unrealistic, call it audacious, call it delusional. I call it vision. Now ask yourself one final question. How long are you going to live like this? and then do something today that proves your answer is not much longer. Not much longer. Don't wait. Don't wait. If you want to live your life delusional and delulu, put a one in the chat. If you're going to call for help, put a two in the chat. If you sick and tired of being sick and tired but not sure what you're going to do, it's your turn. Hey, Venus, it's your turn and it's your time. I don't want y'all to wait no more. How y'all going to go on vacation with me? How y'all going to help me see the world? I know I can't wait too long for you. I'm already 61. How much longer y'all want me to wait?
You know I'm not waiting. You all got to catch up with me. I'm moving to Atlanta. I will be there on my birthday, whether this 98 Einstein Way has been released or not. I heard you today. I'm coming. So just get ready for the birthday party at the Healing House of Roses.
And how old you gonna be this birthday?
88. 88. My dad got a Oldsmobile 88 for his second new car. You should have seen him leaning up against the car with his hat broke down over one eye.
Listen, don't let somebody 88 outwork y'all.
Well, honey, I will outwork you if you ain't doing something. I'll tell you that much. Because she thinks she's going to tell you join her. I'm going to sail around the world on the Queen Victoria. Vicky and I you can go with me one leg at a time or stay on the boat till we finish. But I'm going. Mm-hmm. I'll be standing there with the crew talking about, hi, y'all.
Welcome. Welcome to my world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, yeah, Nick, come on. Listen, don't wait, y'all. You know, we keep talking about the things that we want to do. And we keep talking about, you know, what in the world we want to create.
Do it later is the place where dreams go to die.
Mm-hmm. I'll do it later. I'll catch up later. I'll live my dream later. And before you know it, you're 61.
My younger brother is roller skating in heaven, doing it later. Beat me to heaven. Now you know that's not right.
Not at all. Not at all. You'll keep your imagination alive. I love it. Well, does anybody have anything they want to add before we go? And thank you, Lex, for your description of the Healing House of Roses. I tell you, people heard me say it, but it wasn't until they walked in the door that they believed it.
What about the UPS girl or whoever it was talking on her phone about there's a red carpet in front of this house?
Yes. She was coming to deliver a package and she's on the phone and she was like, oh my God, you should see this house. They got roses outside, all in the thing. Oh my goodness, it's a red carpet. And then when she got all the way up to my camera, she said, I love your house.
Mm-hmm.
And my UPS, that was the postal service, the UPS guy who used to deliver to me, every time he would deliver, one time he delivered the red carpet before I got the red carpet, but it wasn't wrapped up. He said, I done delivered like 4 of these. I said, I know, it was short. So I needed to be long enough. So before I could place it, I needed multiple. So he was bringing it. It came. He see it. He's like, I think this the last one you need. You ready? You ready? Where I'm gonna see this red carpet at? And by the time he came back for another delivery, the red carpet was going down the steps. He said, oh, I like this. I like this a lot. So, you see it long before the world does. And that's okay. And they could call it delusional when you say it out loud. But sometimes the vision looks crazy long before it is. And
Can anybody say the Wright brothers? They built bicycles. And every time you go to the airport, it's because of the Wright brothers. Now you talk about delusional.
and every time you pick up the phone, Alexander Graham Bell wanted to speak to people who wasn't there.
Well, they call that crazy, talking to folks who ain't there.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. Dr. Long, will you please give us our blessing for today?
Yeah, if you all give it back. Come on, y'all. I'm blessed going in.
Blessed going
Blessed going in.
I'm blessed coming out.
in.
I'm blessed coming out.
I'm blessed in the city.
Blessed in the,
Blessed in the city.
I'm blessed in the field.
I'm blessed.
Blessed in the field.
I'm always in the right place at the right time
Always in the right
In
place.
the right place at the right time.
with the right people,
With
the right people.
doing the right thing
the right thing
Doing the right thing
for the right reasons.
for the right
for the
reason.
right reason.
And everything is in divine order.
Everything is in divine order.
As Jabez says, bless us indeed.
Amen.
As David says, bless us indeed.
Expand our territory.
Expand our territory.
Extend an open hand of favor to us
Send it open hand of favor.
Open hand of favor to us.
that we may do no harm.
That we may
do no harm.
And we let go and let God.
we let go.
Go and let God.
Then we go with the flow
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
and let the blessings and the money roll in.
And let
And let the blessings and the money
roll
roll in.
From the north, south, east, and west.
north,
North, south, east, and west.
From above and beneath.
above,
From
and
above and beneath.
From known and unknown sources.
from known.
From known and unknown sources.
Tell us about our money, Dr. D.
We have supernatural unlimited money, sowing supernatural unlimited seeds.
And we live and give out of God's overabundance, so we never run out.
Never run out.
We always have more than enough.
Always
Have more than enough.
More than enough to do anything our heart desires.
more than
More than enough to do anything our hearts desire.
More than enough to do anything God puts on our hearts to do for others.
more than
Enough to do anything that God put on our hearts to do for others.
We have money to spend, money to lend, and big money to keep.
we have
Have money to spend, money to lend, and big money to keep.
Oh, shoot.
Because our bank is in heaven.
Because our bank.
Because our bank is in heaven.
You know, heaven's never out of money. We're the
Never.
branch banks. We're the spout where the money's coming out.
About with a coming out.
It's about where the money's coming out.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. So be happy that God can trust us. We're the spout where the money's coming out. We are money.
We are the money.
Amen.
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 And amen.
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 So go be the spout. Let some money come out. Help somebody.
Mm.
Amen.